What exactly goes on in the finance team if you have to break down and give a bird's eye view to someone who wants to be a part of the finance team?
Yeah, see, I think right from the conceptualization of a fund, okay, what is going to be the fund's corpus? What is going to be the fund's life? What is going to be, where is the fund going to be set up? How the fund structure would be designed, whether it will be an LLP, whether it will be a trust, whether what will be the commercials between the LPs and the GPs and the fund. How do you really want to? So that's the first part of it, the fund structuring part of it. Okay, and then one step ahead, when you are approaching to finalize the fund structure, you really move on to the fund registration part, which is registering the fund with the relevant regulator. Once the entire application is drafted, it's filed. Thereafter, once the fund is set up, you really start onboarding investors. There are multiple queries which may come at the time of onboarding itself, right from a KYC, right from the kind of certifications that the investors are required to provide, uh, the class of unit, the currency in which the investor would put in the money. All these things need to be decided and agreed. The other part is actually dealing once the fund is live, what happens next? Okay, so what happens is that you have to deal with the entire, first of all, the cash flows part of it. This investors start putting money and the clock of IRA starts ticking right then. Okay, so how nimble is the organization to deploy the funds in the right investments, and how quickly we can do that. Um, Once the fund starts progressing on that part, the funds achieve its final close. Then you would have to need to settle down the fund with the right accounting practices, right reporting practices, what sort of disclosures are going in your financials of the fund. One aspect which I didn't touch earlier is the valuation aspect, which is becoming very, very critical now with kind of all the regulators' lens being on the valuation part. At the same time, as the fund approaches its end of life cycle, the exits, managing the exits, and also managing the entire fund wind down and the distributions to investor is a very, very interesting aspect of the finance team has to deal with.